We are here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. Welcome to Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien, a rock star today. Can I call you a rock star?
I'll go with it.
Dan Miller, CEO, founder of Mulberrys Garment Care. So you don't like the way your suits come back from the dry cleaners, so you start your own.
Exactly, yeah.
Now that's entrepreneurism.
Yeah, so I was a consultant. I wore suits and went to the dry cleaner all the time. And occasionally I'd get my shirts back with rips in them. And one time I actually went to a wedding. And at the wedding, I had caught the bride's garter and put it in my pocket. And I got my suit back, went to a meeting, and I was actually a little bit late. And as I walk into the meeting, I say, "Sorry, I'm late." And I realize I've got this garter belt hanging out of my pocket.
Style.
And everybody at the meeting said, you know, if you're late for the reason I think you're late, then don't worry about it. But at that point, I realized, you know, there's got to be a better way here.
By the way, aren't the girls supposed to catch the garters?
Hey, you know, I was there. Something was.
So, Mulberrys Garment Care is a dry cleaning business.
Correct.
And you're trying to set out, you know, I told you earlier that I know the dry cleaning business hasn't changed in 50 years, maybe, right?
That's right.
Shocked me.
And that was one of the things that jumped out at me was when I was going as a customer. Just
the way they dry clean, everything's the same.
Yeah, nothing had changed, and none of the things that you'd associate with kind of a modern business, whether it was just a nice, bright, beautiful in-store environment or you know, modern technology like an app or home delivery service. None of that was there. And so I thought, you know, this is our chance to really reinvent dry cleaning.
Good. Well, it's about time then.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you for a minute. Is this your first entrepreneurship?
It is. It is.
What made you, well, we know what made you start it, but
yeah,
what made you think you were an entrepreneur?
You know, beforehand, like I said, I was a consultant and I loved solving business problems. But the one thing that was missing for me was that I felt like I would just go in, help out, and then move on. And there was I wasn't building anything.
Right.
And so I really had this deep down desire to build something myself that was my own. And so when I saw this opportunity, I thought, you know, this could be something for me. This could be really great. And so I actually quit my job and went to dry cleaning school. And
there's a dry cleaning school?
There is a dry cleaning school in Maryland, and you know, learned about how a boiler works and all that good stuff, and realized, you know, I think
the key is you learn how to put 1,000 bags of plastic on one shirt.
Exactly.
That's what you got to change.
Right.
If you want to help the world.
Learn how to put wire hangers everywhere, and yeah.
Were your parents entrepreneurs, or anybody in your family?
No. Both my parents are business people, but neither were entrepreneurs. But they were both, you know, hugely encouraging of the idea. I think mainly because they had such bad dry cleaning experiences.
Free dry cleaning.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What was the first hurdle that you had to take?
You know, honestly,
jump over.
Yeah, jump over. Yeah. Honestly, the biggest thing was just convincing somebody that dry cleaning could be different, right? When I say dry cleaning to you, you have such an ingrained notion of it's this kind of dumpy shop, the neon light that says dry cleaner, there's plastic bags everywhere, wire hanging, right? It's just this kind of unpleasant experience that comes to your mind. And so being able to really talk to somebody and tell them it doesn't have to be this way. It can actually be a pleasant experience where you walk into the store and it feels good, and you get your clothes back and they're on wooden hangers so you don't have them tangling up.
Right.
The bags are biodegradable so you're not damaging the environment. And your clothes look bright and vibrant and fresh. And once people get a taste of that, then they get it. But it's really hard to kind of explain it at the abstract level.
Right.
And so that was really the biggest hurdle.
Your suit looks good.
Well, thank you, as does yours.
Yeah. I know where to go to my dry cleaner.
That's right.
Do you have a mentor? Did you have somebody that helped you with this?
Honestly, the biggest mentors were my parents. You know, my mom had been in banking, and my dad had run successfully a couple tech companies. And so both of them, kind of in their own ways, had just incredible counsel on both, you know, how to deal with the financial piece of the business, but also just how to grow a business and lead a group of people.
Is dry cleaning, now you live in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and San Francisco.
Yes.
Do more people in San Francisco get dry cleaned than in LA? In other
Honestly,
words, is there geographical?
So there's slight geographical differences, but it's more in what they clean as opposed to do they clean.
Yeah.
So, not surprisingly, you go to Manhattan, you're going to get a lot more suits than in LA. But what you find in LA, for example, is you're going to get people who just outsource everything. They don't want to launder or deal with anything, right? Take my t-shirts, take my jeans, whatever, just clean them and get them back to me. And that's really what we want to have happen, just from the principle of life's short. Do you want to spend it doing your laundry?
Well, I don't mind doing laundry, but I still send it all out. We are here to inspire, inform, and create a community of entrepreneurs. This is Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. Dan Miller is our guest, CEO and founder of Mulberrys Garment Care. What was Mulberrys?
Where did the name come from?
Yeah.
It actually came from two things. Number one, mulberries are notoriously hard to get out as stains. It's one of the hardest stains you can get out of a shirt. And number two, I had a kind of long list of things of what it could be. And Mulberrys was the one name where every person I talked to thought, I like that.
Well, it sounds so friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
Mulberries.
Yeah.
It just seemed, and I'm not criticizing you.
No.
I guess I am. No, it just seems like such an odd thing to come up with. I'm going to change the dry cleaning system.
Yes.
Which, by the way, every time I leave, I want to change it. So.
Well, do you know what? It was one of those things where...
What's with all the plastic, seriously?
That's a great point. I mean, why is there so much plastic?
Yeah.
There doesn't need to be, honestly. The answer is, I think people just always did it that way and didn't used to care about the environment, and so they didn't...
This happened to me this morning. I get up, I want to put on this shirt, which is nicely dry cleaned.
Yes.
It's in two things of plastic. It's got a thing here. I'm in a hurry.
Yeah.
And it's got all the stuff. Then it's got a tag on here. That, You know, and what's the point?
Well, and that's
and I know my dry cleaner, and he's great.
Well, you need to start coming to Mulberrys, but...
You don't have one in L.A.
Well, that's true. We're coming. So no, that's exactly what we've done. We've only have one bag, and like I said, it's biodegradable and recyclable, and it won't go over one; it'll go over 4. We took out all the extra plastic, all the paper tags.
Yeah, those little plastic clips.
We actually barcode your tags or your clothes now, so we can track them through the system.
Right. How quickly did you become successful at it?
Honestly, right off the bat,
really?
It took off like a shot.
That means you're good.
Yeah, I hope so. But the hard part was keeping it going as we built more locations. So that was the biggest lesson to me in this whole process that I completely underestimated, was that the reason dry cleaning hasn't kind of expanded, right? It's mostly mom and pop, right?
Yeah.
Is because at scale, it's incredibly operationally difficult, because you've got thousands of shirts and pants coming in, all with unique needs and sizes and types, right? And trying to track that and do it in a way that makes sure everybody gets the clothes they dropped off back.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
And gets it the way they like it is really difficult.
Did you ever think you'd be in the dry cleaning business?
Not in a million years.
Yeah.
Not in a million
that's
years.
what's so cool about being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Something happened to you.
Yes.
Got hit over the head by something. A mulberry.
Exactly. A garter belt.
But I mean, did it surprise you all of a sudden? What?
Yeah, it did. But do you know what it was? And I'm sure this is what a lot of entrepreneurs that you've seen is, I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of tangling wire hangers out of my closet. I'm tired of lost items or my shirt being ripped or buttons being crushed, and tired of dreading going to the dry cleaner. I just thought, if I don't do it...
You're supposed to dread to go to the doctor, not the dry cleaner.
Yeah, well, both.
Did it take a lot of startup money?
No, it wasn't overwhelming.
Could you have done it without the school?
No.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, that's one of the biggest mistakes people make, because other people have tried to change dry cleaning, but I think they kind of shortcut it a little bit. They don't really want to mess around with learning how to clean the clothes and remove stains and all that ugly stuff, right?
It seems like they just put it, well, we'll talk about that in the next segment. Who's your mentor? Who do you look up to?
I mean, it's like I said, it's really been my mom and dad.
Mentor?
No, honestly, there isn't. Mainly because, I wanted to change the business, and the people in the business.
You don't want to hear from them.
They don't, and they don't want to talk to me particularly.
Did the school teach you how to run the machine. I'm so fascinated by this.
Yeah.
Run the machines that go up roller coaster and
Yeah, I mean,
quickly find the item.
Yeah, they teach you everything: how to tag a garment, how to get a stain out, how to press pants, how to, you name it.
Okay, I want to talk about Mulberrys when we come back. We are here to inspire, inform, clean your shirts, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. This is Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. Back in a minute. We are here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. Welcome back to Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. Dan Miller is our guest, the CEO and founder of Mulberry Garment Care. Mulberry only because it sounded good, right?
That's right.
I mean, that's good enough for me. So you decide to get in the dry cleaning business. Does everything have to be dry cleaned?
No.
Is
not
that
at
the
all.
mistake I make?
Yes, that's a lot of people make.
Don't come here and rip me.
Only suits, silks, wools really need to be dry cleaned.
Right. And rugs.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother process. But your shirt, for example, typically being laundered and pressed. Anything cotton, you really want to launder, or maybe what's called wet clean, which is where you just use a little bit of water so you don't damage the garment.
Right. So how does this all work? Is there a formula to dry cleaning? I mean, obviously there is, but I mean, is there
like what is dry cleaning really?
Yeah.
So dry cleaning.
Trade places. You ask.
So dry cleaning is a little bit of a misnomer. Essentially, what it is cleaning your clothes in anything other than water, and they call it dry cleaning. So I'm not kidding. If I took your clothes and dipped it in gasoline, took it out and dried it, I could say, I just dry clean that for you.
That's been done, by the way.
Yeah. And that's actually one of the problems with the industry, right? Is typically your clothes are cleaned in a relatively toxic chemical. That's a carcinogen and groundwater contaminant that's fortunately been banned in California, but it's still used in the majority of the country.
So for people who are picking up their dry cleaning today, how can you tell the difference between good and bad?
Well,
I can't.
Yeah, I mean the big things are, number one on the chemical side is just, how do you smell chemicals on your clothes? If you do, you got a problem.
Yeah.
But
that I can figure out.
Yeah, the second biggest thing is really in the pressing quality. So, for example, do your pants have double creases on them? Does your shirt collar stand up properly when you're sitting there? Right. Is your lining of your suit coat clean, and are the lines on the back of your suit clear? Luckily, you're going to a good dry cleaner.
Yes, I am. Let's talk about all the plastic.
Yeah.
Is there some regulation that says you have to put 10 pounds of plastic over a shirt?
No, absolutely not. And I think one of the things that's going to change a lot is, I don't know if you noticed, but have you seen the kind of recyclable dry cleaning bags?
I have.
So that, I think, is
My guy has that,
big positive that the industry can make, right, to save a lot of plastic. But the other thing is just bagging orders in a common sense way, right? Like, don't just put plastic over each piece. Put 5 or 6 pieces together and then put plastic.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
Honestly, it's just...
Are you charging for the plastic?
No, that's the irony, is they're paying for it, right?
Yeah.
But no, I think it's just tradition. And like I said, it was time for the industry to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you see, can you tell if a suit's been dry cleaned correctly?
Absolutely.
Really?
For sure. Yeah. Simple thing is you'll see bunching in the shoulders. You'll see your collar riding up. People don't have collar stays in their collar, so you'll see this move in the shirt, which is one of my favorites.
I've had that with people watching me, and they haven't told me. That's always nice.
Yeah. But that's not your job, right? Your dry cleaner should make sure that's right.
Yeah. Is it profitable?
Yes, absolutely. We've been profitable for a few years now, and we'll continue to be profitable.
I can remember back in Sioux Falls, right down from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Remember the first time we were very poor, so we didn't send anything to dry cleaning. I think when I got to college, I started dry cleaning a sport coat here and there, but it used to be such a luxury.
Yeah.
And now everybody just says, to the dry cleaners.
Yes. That's the huge change that's happening, is people just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
And so they give us everything. We're getting underwear, socks, you name it. And the other thing that we're doing that really has changed the game for us is our mobile app, in the sense that you can literally pull out your phone. If we were in San Francisco right now,
Right.
you could pull out your phone, tap, tap. We would have somebody here in 15 minutes to pick up your clothing.
And then bring them back.
Yeah. And once you've had that experience, it's hard to go back.
No, I know that experience. It's great. You won't get that here, but we are here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. This is Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. So Dan Miller, will it ever change? I mean, is there anything, what could change about dry cleaning that's dramatic?
Yeah.
Or that makes it better?
Right. I think there's really three big things that can change and will change, and hopefully we're doing to change.
Stop spilling.
Yeah, right. No, number one is obviously on the environmental side, so using solvents and detergents that are green, right?
Most people do anyway. Right?
No, most people are saying they're doing it.
Okay.
And there's a certain amount of greenwashing there. But the second thing is the delivery piece. I don't think in the long run you're going to see nearly as many storefront dry cleaners. You're going to see a lot more of it just right to your home, like ordering a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing is really what you were talking about the packaging, right? Is making the packaging less of an imprint where you don't have clips, plastic bags, stuff in your shirts puffing all over the place. So it's really just you get the clothes, you hang them in your closet, and that's it.
Right. Why do they do that? I mean, this shirt is fine with all this stuffing.
Right. It's the tradition. It's the way it was done in the old days. There are some people who love it. They like the tissue paper and whatnot.
So they think their clothes are better off because of that. How often should people dry clean?
I honestly think that you should essentially clean it once you wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
of course you do.
I mean, obviously I'm in the business of it. But no, it's mainly because just the general wear and tear of your life is destructive to fabrics. When you're putting your elbows on stuff and rubbing dirt into it, that's breaking down this. The longer you leave it there, the more time it's got to break down the fibers.
So let's say you have a Armani suit or a Tom Ford, which are up in the $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
Is there a rule that says you shouldn't dry clean those more or less?
No, and I think that's actually
material should be.
That's a common myth is that you shouldn't do it because the dry cleaning is going to damage it. But really, what that is whoever came up with that was going to a bad dry cleaner, right? Who wasn't taking care of your clothes. The more important thing is that when you go to your dry cleaner, you make it clear that this is delicate. This has got to be treated with care. If it's done,
shouldn't they know? Shouldn't everything be treated with care?
They should, but I think we've all had enough bad dry cleaning stories to know that's not always the case. So,
what's the hardest thing to get out? Mulberry.
Besides mulberry.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I mean, besides mulberries, the hardest stuff is like on a wedding gown, for example. That almost slushy dirt from dragging. That is
that cakes?
A nightmare. It's cakes, and it's a mix of kind of oil, grass stains, dirt, maybe some champagne in there.
Everything.
Right.
How many stores do you plan to open?
We want to be a national dry cleaner. We want to be the first national dry cleaner.
Now, is there an app already?
There is an app already. Yeah, Mulberrys dry cleaners. You can download it today.
You can?
Yeah.
So you'll deliver to my house in Beverly Hills?
Not yet.
Okay. But
next year.
What's on the website, mulberriescleaners.com?
So we have basically a web app there where you can order, pick up online. You can check your order online, find our store locations. You can even do what's called e-pickup, which is you tap a button, tell us you're coming. We have your clothes just sitting out ready for you.
What's one garment you should never dry clean?
I think you've actually stumped me.
Good. We'll leave it at that. Thanks for coming here. Glad I was able to.
Thanks for having me.